5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is How Do You Love Me podcast, better known now as HDYLM podcast. I'm Trey.
And I'm Q.
And the title of this podcast is called This Life Hits Different. Our lives are like those, choose your own book. Choose your own book stories.
Choose your own story books.
Choose your own storybook.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the genre of those books, they always allow the reader to be the protagonist of that book. Mm-hmm. Right? And then you choose the events that determine the main character's actions and their outcomes.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So here's the thing. Are you allowing people around you to dictate your life? In this episode, we're going to talk about the 7 rules to life and what makes your life hit different. Coming up.
All right, Trey, how full is your cup?
Yeah, my cup right now, man, I'm telling you, I've eaten not too long ago.
Go ahead and tell everybody you just woke up from a nap.
I did. That's exactly what I was getting to.
Can y'all see the crust in the corner of his mouth?
No, of course not. And if they can, shame on you for not telling me and letting me get on this podcast with a crusty lip. But no, yeah, I did. I just woke up like 30 minutes though. I didn't take a long one. It's rare that I take those, but when I do, they make life hit different.
I knew you were gonna say they hit different.
They do. So right now, man, I guess I'm at about 98.6. Yeah.
You ugly for that.
98.6 because I had a great week. Otherwise, we're getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. Where you at?
Let me see. I was at 93.333 last time.
That's right.
I'm at about 95. Look, y'all, we on Thanksgiving break. And I am no longer a teacher this week, okay? Trey done told me he don't want to hear none of that mess.
No, I let her get it out,
because I did.
Friday.
Yeah.
No problem. But I did it for her. Like, if you keep talking about something or thinking about it, then that takes over what it's supposed to be. A serene time, a break.
Yeah.
If you still thinking about it, you didn't take the break.
Right.
And then you'll complain when you get back. You're like, man, this went too fast. I still, you know what I mean? So yeah, I did. I told her, I don't want to hear it. Yeah. I don't want to hear anything. I don't even want you thinking about the kids.
It's too bad because I still think about it, but I am more aware when I talk about it. I'm trying to not talk as much about it. Occasionally I'll think of something that one of the kids does or did and I thought was hilarious, and then we move on.
And that's it, man. That's it.
But I'm on 95, so it's been pretty good. We just went out to eat. We have my favorite, which is Mexican food.
It was really good.
It was good. I had some soda. I don't even drink soda like that, but that soda was hidden different.
Did you drink it all?
Yeah, I had 2 cups.
Oh, I didn't even see that part.
I don't even drink soda.
Yeah, it must have been real good.
It was good.
Well, anyway, so we're going to push this thing forward, right?
Yeah.
So
we're going to transition into our topic for today. So do y'all remember those, like reading those books, those choose your own story books? Because I remember those books, and I can't really particularly remember the actual book that I read, but I do remember how they would you would be reading and you get to a certain point and it would say, if you want your character to do XYZ, turn to page 7 or turn to page 12 if you want to do this instead. Well, for whatever reason, I've mentioned this before, and I feel like the life that you're living right now is just a product of the choices that people around you or you have chosen in your past.
Oh, that's facts.
So it's funny. Another thing I've also been thinking about, y'all seen that episode of the Chappelle Show where they're like, when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, that's one of my good ones.
You know, like, I don't want my life to end up like that, right? I've seen way too many people's lives end up like that just from like the build up of certain things happening in people's lives, and then next thing you know, they snap.
Yeah.
And then they have to deal with the consequences. I don't want to live that kind of life. So I'm real choosy with my actions because I want to live a happy life. Okay. I want my life to hit different than what I saw. Okay.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about the 7 rules of life that will help your life hit different. And if you don't know what hit different means, the Urban Dictionary says it's when something is significantly better than usual or is way better under certain circumstances. So a good example of this is how tap water hits different at 3 a.m. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
You don't even drink tap.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I don't drink tap water. But if I wake up and I'm thirsty, and I have done that before, and I drink some, you know, you get that cool sensation going down your chest. I don't even know how to explain it, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then you just lay right back down and go to sleep. But I can see that.
It hit different. Tap water hit different, especially when you don't like it. I don't mind. I do not mind. The next like example that I think of, like, and I feel like most people our age probably understand, like my mom listened to Mary J. Blige as, you know, when I was a kid. I feel like that was like her therapy for her own self. Like not gonna cry. I mean, just the whole My Life CD, and I can't think of the name of that CD right now. But anyways, basically every Mary J. Blige song that she pretty much done put out, I pretty much know because my mama was jamming to it.
Yeah.
Well, as an adult now, that music hits different for me because I understand it more. Like I'm listening to the lyrics and not necessarily just singing the song. Mm-hmm. So it hits different at 27 than it did at 7.
That's good examples right there.
It is a good example. It's just, I mean, for people like for you, your mama probably didn't listen to Mary J. Blige, but like some gospel music that she probably listened to, it probably hit different for you because you listen to, you like, dang.
Oh yeah,
that was deep right there.
Yeah, definitely.
That was deep, and plus you have more experiences to go off of. So.
And that's really what makes it hit different.
It
right?
does.
It's your experience.
It does. Yeah. And so again, that's why I'm bringing this up, because our life, the one that we're living right now, is basically just a product of the past decisions that have been made. So let's get into these rules. Trey, can you read rule number 1, please?
Rule number 1: let it go. That's it. No, I'm playing. No, seriously, let it go. It says never ruin a good day by thinking about a bad yesterday. And this is funny because, I mean, this is something I live by right here.
No, this whole list is inspired by Trey. Let me tell you why. He gets on my nerves because I feel like all of this is him and I am totally the opposite. So some of this stuff is talking to me. Okay. So when we came up with this list, he was definitely in mine.
Well, so this one, let it go. I mean, seriously, you can get caught up so much in the past or what happened. Like they said yesterday, it could be last week, but you can get caught up so much in that you miss right now, and what right now could be if you allowed it to happen. You know what I mean?
You just told me that like last week.
I know. I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
You did. You just told me that. And I know it's true. It's just hard. It's hard to let stuff go, especially when you're still in that moment and it feels like it just happened yesterday, even though it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that's something that you have to work on, and, you know, like stuff doesn't happen overnight. You just have to work on it and be conscious of it. Yeah. So if you're thinking of, okay, yeah, it crept in, but okay, let me let it go, refocus, and stay here right now. One of my mentors always said, you know, be where you are. Huh?
What?
You gotta have a mentor for everything.
Oh, okay.
So it's not always the same person, you know?
Oh.
You can't, one mentor might be great in fitness, but terrible in finance. You know what I mean? They could be great in finance, terrible in health or whatever. I'm just saying, you know, you need someone for everything. Nobody's good at everything. So, but yeah, this particular one is like, look, if you're in the shower, be in the shower. Yeah. Don't be thinking about work while you're in the shower, and vice versa. You know, if you're on vacation, don't be thinking about work while you're on vacation.
Yeah.
And you know,
okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, it's good though. That was a good one.
Yeah. Number 2, ignore them. Who's them? You always saying that. Oh my gosh. Who is they?
Who is that?
That's your favorite.
Because we don't know. Nobody ever said.
Well, it says, don't listen to other people. Live a life that's empowering to you.
Yeah, and I mean, that's like, it's true to a certain extent, but yeah, I mean, sometimes they might actually know, and you probably should listen to them.
Yeah, it just kind of depends. Like, it depends on your mindset. Like, first of all, if you just don't want to hear somebody just because they think differently than you and it makes no sense.
Yeah, that's
you probably shouldn't do that. No. But you should ignore the people who are trying to tear you down. They want to laugh at you. Like, especially if people are just saying, you know, mean things to be funny.
Facts.
But if they're trying to teach you, then you should listen. They may be trying to
assuming that they already have been through it.
Yeah, okay.
Or done it.
Because, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say if you ain't been through it, or you done what I'm about to do and you know what the outcome is going to look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If you haven't made it happen, I'll listen to you, AKA, I'll take it back. I'll hear you. Probably not going to listen to you if you haven't done it. Just being real.
Okay.
So, yeah, number 3. Mm-hmm. Number 3, give it time. You know, time heals everything. What do you think about that?
It does. I mean, wounds, they heal over time. That's why can I say that? I tell the kids that all the time. Like, Miss Scott, I'm bleeding. Because they know. If it's not bleeding, I really
can't go nowhere.
I really don't want to hear about it. Like, you know, you can mention it once. After that, you need to let it heal.
Yeah.
Let it heal. And that's the same thing with relationships, basically relationships. 'Cause I know that's the biggest part that people struggle with.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who it's with, but yeah, that relationship, time can, because a lot of times I think too, it works because in the moment or when it's super fresh, you're not really thinking in your right mind. You're thinking out of anger or out of, you know, whatever it is, animosity, all this other stuff. But then time goes by and now you're, you know, like we said earlier, you might have had a different experience.
Yeah.
You might have been on the other side of that problem.
Right.
And experiencing it from a different angle.
Yeah.
So then when you look back at that other situation, you're like, we was tripping.
Yeah. Or you could have just been having a bad day.
That too.
So you give it some time before you start acting up.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then you turn into an episode of when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah. A lot of times that's how I get over road rage, you know.
Man.
When people do something crazy on the road, first I'm angry and then I try and hurry up and think about, I have a default where I just make it up in my mind that, you know, somebody's pregnant or they have to get to, you know, a burning house. Something's going wrong where they had to cut me off or had to, you know, run up on my bumper and then swerve back right in front of me, you know, to get going. I have to make that up in my mind. Otherwise, I'm pretty mad.
Yeah.
You know,
the other thing is you got to give stuff time to be able to work.
Yeah.
Like if you make a change, you know, maybe, you know, make a lifestyle change, you got to give it some time. Like losing weight, the moment that you start eating broccoli and lettuce and, you know, you stop eating fried foods and sugary foods, it doesn't happen instantly. No. You got to give it some time to actually become a habit, to actually make the changes in your body, to see the results.
Yeah. Sometimes you lost the inches before the actual pounds.
That's when it hurt because I feel like I want to see it.
But if you ain't looking at the inches, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you did. Something happened. But if you're not seeing the whole picture. Yeah. You mad.
Give it some time, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Number 4. I be struggling. I struggle with this whole list, but I'm trying to make my life different. Number 4, don't compare. Hey, the only person you should try to beat is the person you were yesterday.
That's good. Like, real good.
Yeah. It really is hard because especially on social media, you see so many people doing like their absolute best. and you think, I probably should be doing a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, but I agree. And that's a hard one for everybody.
Yeah.
But you have to be aware of that one, because if you aren't, comparing will have you in the corner somewhere crying.
Yeah.
You know.
But I was just thinking about like not having the means to be able to get, like, I'm like, but you know, she had a rich daddy. You know,
you never know people's circumstances.
I know I don't, but sometimes that's where I be in competition with folks who don't even know.
And
they don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that.
I know.
Because that's
like,
that
shoot,
is
if
funny.
I had a kitchen like that, I'd be showing off too. Shoot. Y'all get videos every day.
Oh,
hey, y'all
man.
in here making oatmeal again.
Oatmeal.
Coffee.
Look at my coffee.
Cooking dinner. Shoot, maybe that's why I ain't motivated to cook.
That's already been played before.
No.
Not here. I'm just saying. I've heard that. If
Who
I had a
said that?
bigger kitchen, I'd be cooking all the time.
I ain't say bigger.
What?
Better.
What, the appliances? You want the appliances to talk to you and stuff?
I ain't saying all that. I'm just
Q,
saying.
The roast is ready.
It would be cool. It would be cool. If my kitchen was better, maybe I would be motivated. I'd be like, ooh, hey, gotta go into the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially like comparing is real easy when it comes to like not tangible things, but like, you know, new things, new stuff. But then you realize it's like all of it's gonna get old at some point.
That's right.
You know, even us, we might spend, you know, what, $6,000 on a new couch or something later on, and we get old and something happened to us, and we gone and passed away, and then, you know, we looking down at our kids selling the couch. Like, bro, I paid $6,000 for that couch,
and I just
and you gonna
yesterday.
sell it for $25.
They probably couldn't stand that couch.
But you know what I mean? Times change. That ain't the couch no more. It's always gonna be like that, whether it's cars or cameras or phone. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just
That's why you ain't getting that new system.
what system? PS4 or something? What?
I thought it was
Xbox?
5.
Oh, it's PS5. Yeah. What? Xbox?
I don't know.
What you saying? You ain't buying it for me?
I'm not buying that.
Look, I didn't want it anyway, y'all. I guess you just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
I see what you're saying.
It's gonna get old, and I'm not paying full price for something that's gonna go down in a minute.
Well, for me, I mean, you know, I don't play the game like that anyway.
Yeah.
Like, my stuff is
Thank the Lord.
it's for what?
We watching Netflix and stuff.
That's what we
won't
use
even
it
play
for.
the game. It's literally a DVD player or
Basically.
a streaming device.
Basically.
It's a streaming device. Hey, don't be trying to compare y'all lives to us. We regular schmegular.
I ain't got the new system, y'all.
Nah, they good.
I'm
We just dusted.
Yeah, that's it. You know. Go over with the little Swiffer sweeper. Boom, boom.
Speaking of that,
What?
where does all this dust? I do not remember all this dust.
I don't know.
As a kid at my mama's house.
I don't know.
It don't make no sense. I'm sorry, y'all.
I don't know. You gotta
I'm comparing
keep it
my house
swift.
with my mama's house.
basically right now.
Well, I guess it might be different too, because I was cleaning the house my mama was like, I see dust, you better clean this up. I ain't got no kids at this house to clean it up when I ain't there. So when I come back, I'm like, dog, where does dust come from?
She never got to see it because you was cleaning it.
Apparently.
So now you get to see it because we cleaned it.
I'm just like, man, this ain't life right here. All right, number 5. Stay calm. Stay calm. It's okay not to have everything figured out.
And that ties in to the last one. Don't compare.
Yeah.
That goes hand in hand. I agree, because when you think, man, I'm supposed to be whatever by now.
Yeah.
And stuff like that it might bring some sort of like anxiety or like some sort of pressure.
Yeah.
Right. To try and, man, why am I not here? I need to, and then you start making what? Bad decisions or, doing different stuff. What you got?
No, I was just thinking. I mean, I probably should have brought this back up on Don't Compare, y'all. Anyway, stay calm, y'all, because that anger that be built up in us, it can cause a lot of damage. Like the other day, I had to catch myself. I was taking my mama to McDonald's to get something to eat because her back's been hurting or whatever. So I took her to McDonald's, and on the way, y'all know I have road rage, and this lady was riding my butt at the turnaround. And I never do this because Trey doesn't like me to do it. But that day I was so mad because Mama told me to come pick her up, but then like I couldn't park there. I had to keep driving around. So I was driving around for like a good 30 minutes. Ugh. So I was upset. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Okay. I see.
I was upset. Anyways, this lady was riding my butt. I rolled the window down and I was like, get off my butt. And she rolled the window down. Mom was like, are you okay? And I thought in that moment, I was like, what was I going to do if she got out of her car?
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, I was going to be, no, I wasn't going to do nothing.
What I'm saying is you ain't got no gap.
No, I don't. I don't even
you have. You don't have a 9.
I don't have anything, any kind of weapon in my car that I could do anything. But in that moment, keeping it real would have just...
somebody that is keeping it real. But
and what if I actually had to fight this lady? Because she rolled down her window and said, what you say?
You see what I'm saying? And now... You know, then and something like that, then you would put your mama in a weird situation where now I gotta try and help too, maybe, but my back hurts, so I can't.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of fear that comes over her, like, man, what was about to happen?
I don't know. And it was just, I was having a bad week that week too, so it was, it's that same week. I was ready to go off on somebody, and she was probably gonna get it. And I always think about like how if I ever had to get into some kind of altercation, I'm going like full force in.
Well, let's hope she does not have to get into an altercation.
But that's why I make good choices. I try to make sure that I'm never in a predicament where I have to act a fool.
And that's the whole goal.
Yeah.
So,
because my life could be hitting totally different.
Well, yeah, even jail. To this day. Like if I would have got a call saying, hey, can you come pick Kiana up out of... What?
You wouldn't come get me?
I ain't saying that. But I'm going to be like, I need to know what happened. How long does she got? Is it like 72 hours? If it's 72 hours, I might make her sit.
Boy.
Let her sit.
First of all, y'all, Trey don't even know how the bail bonds process works.
Definitely not.
He don't know.
Definitely not.
He talking about 72 hours.
I don't know. What, they don't do it over the weekend type deal? Like, I thought they
These ain't no tickets.
Oh. Look, that's why I wouldn't be in that situation. Look, don't get in no situation like that. No.
She be home in 2 days.
No, we got family. I'll figure it out. But
somebody be there.
I'd be mad.
You would have to call my side of the family to get.
I'm pretty sure I got some people on my side.
What do y'all do when folks go to jail? Who in jail? Then we got to explain that all over.
That'd be some trash right there, boy.
It would be. It'd be a situation. I'd never hear the end of that.
Sure wouldn't.
Never.
I told you not to roll that window down.
Yeah, you stop. He done told me that before.
Man, I got something in my throat. I need some water. But yeah, I told her that because y'all, you don't know what somebody else have. Yeah. So like, even if like say Kiana did have something in her car, it's different when you actually about to use something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when you do that, you cannot take it back. So if you ain't shooting to kill,
I could be throwing some change at a windshield or something. It was a new car. It had new tags on it. I could have threw and jacked her whole windshield.
But then think about it. Certain people, they cars is everything. So now you done threw some change at my windshield, and now I'm about to have to shoot you. And they pull out their gun. So you had change. You throwing change, and they cocking a gun. What you about to do? Now you gonna swerve. Now you gonna swerve, and I done seen this before, y'all. I done seen people swerving right in front of me because they going back and forth with each other, and then I don't know if they lost control, if the other person just did it. They smacked the cars against each other, and then of course that force pushed them into other lanes, and it's just. I'm behind them, so now I'm slowing down, but then watching my rear view mirror because I'm like, What if I make them run into me? It's so much that, it's just not even worth it. It's hard.
It's not.
You gotta stay calm for sure.
Yeah, that's why you need to let it go.
Yeah.
Let the stuff go.
See, that's why it was number one.
Did I get hit? No.
That's the thing. I heard, I read somewhere it was like 95% of our negative thoughts never happen. And it was like explaining how we literally come up with situations in our mind that, well, if she say this, then I'm going to say this.
That's
if
right.
they do this, then I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit them with the uppercut. And then like we come up with all these scenarios and then it gets to that point and they just say, and then walk off.
You like, I had this whole conversation prepared.
You had the whole conversation. You had the whole you acted everything out, and it never happened.
I am that person.
My heart. That's everybody
beating the whole time because I can't wait. I'm like, she about to say it. She about to say it.
Never happened.
Never said it.
It said about 95%.
It just fall.
Of our thoughts never happened.
Fall out.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Number 6.
You remember this quote?
I actually do. It says, if it is to be, it's up to me.
If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better
she was not the first person.
What?
She was not the first person to say that.
No, she wasn't the person to say that. That came, I don't know where we got this from. It probably came from like a motivational speaker or something in high school. And they gave us magnets. And this was on my refrigerator in high school. Like every time I went to the refrigerator, I read it. It was just like, it's this quote that has stuck with me for 10 plus years. If it is to be, it is up to me.
Yeah, it's on you. Only you are in charge of your happiness.
That's true. It's so true. Because only you know what you want out of your life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I want to shoot dice for the rest of my life, it's up to me to find the dice game.
I mean, yeah. A good example, Q. You shooting dice.
Y'all know I'm good for a bad analogy.
Nah, it wasn't bad. It was true. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's your goal, that's your dream.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, some folks do. That's all they want to do. I remember in high school, hey, man, y'all remember y'all coming down to the dice game behind the bill?
No, I'm just saying. It's now. What was we watching the other day? They had a dice game in that. Life.
Oh, yeah, life. I mean, if it is to be, it's up to me. If you want to be a doctor, who's the person who got to go to school? Can you send your mama to school? Can you send your kids to school? No, you got to go. It's up to you.
And there's a flip side to that. If your parents want you to be a doctor and you the one who got to do those 12 years and that ain't what you want to do, you better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you got to watch out for that.
Gotta do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to watch out for it because a lot of times people will project what they want you to be. And the next thing you know.
And it comes from a good place.
It does.
If it's your parents, for the most part, they just want you to be, I'm pretty sure any parent wants you to be more successful than they were or do something that they didn't do. But at the same time, there's a thin line between me doing what you want me to do and you supporting, like, in the same line, what I actually want to do.
Right.
To get to the same result that you really want me to have.
I feel like the disconnect between those two, like what separates those two is the fact that your parents want you to be the change in the generation. Mm-hmm. You know, well, at least that's how I feel. Sometimes they might already have a doctor and they might already be rich. But most of the times I see it in like minorities where, you know, maybe they did something to carry, you know, maybe like they moved here from another country.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And so they're starting fresh so that you can have the opportunity.
That's a big one.
You know, so they want you to be the change in this generation. Like you be the first one. But a lot of times, you know, I don't want to have that much weight on my shoulders. Yeah. You know, if it's up to me to determine my happiness, I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay, you ain't going to tell me to go be a slave for 12 years and then, you know, I barely get to do what I want. You know what I'm saying? Really like, you got to work hard. You got to pay all that money back.
Facts.
Yeah, do all kinds of stuff. Ain't no way. Ain't no way somebody going to tell me I got to do something for 12 years. to save the family. I mean, it happens. I'm sure it does.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I mean, everybody's different. You know, some people might also take that as a, you know, pride. Yeah. And like, yeah, I am. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
The whole thing in that is, at the end of the day, can you look in the mirror and say, I did this for me, or I did this for my family, and I'm okay with it, and I'm happy? Because if you're not, then, I mean, good for you, but you're not happy.
Yeah. Well, number 7 is just for me. Smile. Life
is too short. Enjoy it while you can.
That's right.
I mean, there's a theme in all of those, and they kind of just go together. You know what I mean? But yeah, smiling is really great for you.
It is, but it also shows that you are enjoying.
Thankful, enjoyment.
You're enjoying what's happening around you. And I think the central theme of all of this is to just focus on the good. Yeah. You're staying calm. You're focused on the good. If you're not comparing, you're focusing on what's good. If you're worrying about what makes you happy, you're focusing on the good. If you're letting it go, you're focusing on the good. These things make your life hit different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's all a choice.
It is. It really is a choice. Like, I feel like our life hits different than probably our parents because we chose a different path than they did. Not saying that they're wrong, we're right. We could be wrong and they could be right. You know what I'm saying? But we are choosing the life that hits different for us. And I definitely see some stuff that we've passed up that, maybe they decided to do. And I'm like,
thank the Lord.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, thank God. I didn't have to go through that.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes people have to go through things so that you don't.
Yeah.
Assuming that you don't take the same route. Mm-hmm. Most people do.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, man, the life is too short and you want your life to hit different. You got to do some different things. And with that being said, if you haven't already checked out the podcast, you on the YouTube channel, definitely go ahead and pull that up. You're missing out. You're missing out on the facial expressions. You're missing out on Q's hair. Look, just go ahead and go over there. Each episode you're listening to, it includes a video just like this. And you can, so if you like seeing people's faces, go ahead, head over to YouTube and watch the episodes there. And basically subscribe while you're there too, so that you can get all the notifications. And with that being said, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to push forward to some what?
Questions from our inner circle.
Hey, pump.
Let's see.
What?
Yeah, you was about to hit one of them buttons, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was. I was about to shoot some gunshots.
Oh my gosh. All right, so here it is. One of my associates stated, "You have to teach a man how to love you." Another one stated, "I am not teaching no grown man how to love me." Both ages 35 and up. What's your take on this? Where is the line drawn of teaching a man how to love you? Well, I'm just going to say, you really shouldn't have to teach a man how to love you. I feel like he should already know. Because I'm like, if he's a man, he should already know.
I agree. Unfortunately. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
No, but seriously, yeah, that's the dilemma that a lot of women today are coming up with. They have these men, and these men are growing up without men in their lives. Mm-hmm. So if you have that, then who's there to really teach them how to be you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying that basically you may have to. Like, you're saying you shouldn't have to, but you may have to.
Yeah. I mean, unless they go out and seek everything that needs to be known has been written. You can find it.
Yeah.
The question is, do you care enough to find it? So if you have enablers or women who enable these actions, I'm not going to care to even look to try and become a better man.
Right.
You're just going to do it for
somebody going to take me.
Exactly. Especially these days. So I think teach a man how to love you. you might have to. And even still, you can have someone who did, have a man, because ultimately it boils down to, look, in a perfect world, you have a husband and wife who have a kid. They stay together. The husband shows that kid how to love. Mm-hmm. The husband shows the kid how to love a woman based on how he loves his wife.
Right.
Vice versa. If it's a woman, the husband shows the little girl how a woman is supposed to be loved based on how she sees the father love the wife, like love her mother. So if you take out the male,
who gonna show him how to do it?
The TV,
right?
You know what I mean? And then that sets up another kind of false narrative, because what's on TV is pretty much perfect. It's pretty perfect. Mm-hmm. So then you don't see a lot of working out of certain things or this kind of stuff. And so then when you do get grown enough to have your own relationship, now, well, this is not like the TV.
Yeah.
You don't say it like that, but ultimately that's what it's boiling down.
This ain't what I expected.
Exactly.
I thought you knew what you was doing.
And when does disappointment come? When expectation is higher than reality or what's happening. You know what I mean? So
I guess...
ultimately she might have... I don't know how long that process is for you. Like, as far as it... Basically, is it worth it for you? Is it worth it to you enough to teach somebody how to love you? But yeah, I mean, even still, everybody's not the same. So you can see that growing up in a, male and female household, and you're the kid, and still not know how to treat your significant other.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it is a bit of teaching, but I'm pretty sure the way she's putting this, I'm willing to bet that, he just has no clue, oblivious. But I'm gonna say because of society.
I think that like the word teach may be a little too like people would probably think too much into the word teach.
I see.
Groom, maybe. Show.
I like that. I see where you're going with that.
You know what I'm saying? Demonstrate.
Yeah.
That might be different because like the way that you were showed may be totally different than the way that I want it.
Yeah, different love languages.
That's right. So like you might be the kind of person whose love language is touch. Mm-hmm. I won't touch.
Right.
Okay, get your hands off of me.
Right.
I might want words of affirmation. You know what I'm saying? So I may have to show you, hey, I would just prefer it this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
because too, and that might be a thing where you can bring it up, like, hey, but you got, you might not be aware. Maybe he is like what you just said. Maybe he is showing touch, but yours is words of affirmation. So he is, but it's not your love. It's not how you want to be loved. So you don't even see the touch part. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I'm trying. In my mind, I am.
Yeah.
But it's because I'm doing the touch. So if you let them know, hey, I see what you're doing. This is great, but this is what I really love.
Right.
This is what I really like.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. That might have been a strong word there as well. Yeah. Because this is all we got. So. And
I think we gotta, in a way, I feel like we are a lot harsher on guys than we should be. Because we expect them to be so, I'm so sorry. We expect them to come already ready. And so many men come unprepared, just like so many of us do too.
For sure.
For the most part, like most of us came without fathers, and like we expect y'all to come and fulfill that piece that our father,
Facts.
left.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Fulfill that part that was empty. But we really don't think about what the male needs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that happens a lot.
It does. So it's kind of, teaching is probably like a really hard word when you hear about it.
I agree.
But ultimately, when you show somebody how to love you, it sounds so much better when you say that. But that's ultimately what you're going to have to do in the first few years of your marriage anyway. Period. Because again, y'all are two totally different people who grew up in two totally different environments. You're going to have to show this person your way. They're going to have to show you their way. And then y'all have to figure out our way. Yeah.
And if it was good, and then the best scenario during the courting, part of that's when you kind of figure these things out. As far as, what do you want / not want in this relationship and all that stuff. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have one more question.
Oh, okay.
I have a question. When a guy says he loves you, but I still have childish ways, but I want you to stick it out with me and grow with me, what does that mean? And how would you take that? And has it happened to you before? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to say that this guy probably wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. Because he's basically trying to let you know, like, I like you. You're a nice person. You might be attractive. You might be a nice woman. But I still want to play around. Yeah. I'm not ready to settle down, but I still want you on my side to be here whenever I need you.
Yep. And it goes into what I just said. You know, if that's all he's ever seen, like from his buddies or, you know, TV, whatever, then, yeah, I should be able to get away with doing this. Like, it should be okay for me to say this out loud and expect a okay. You know what I mean? But if the woman knows, you know, if the father validated her growing up, she might not stand for that. Like, might not go for that.
Well, mine didn't, and I know I wouldn't.
And still, yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like, it's not necessarily just the father, but even still, if she grew up with any certain kind of values, it's going to be like, you tripping.
Okay.
But
get that mess out of here. Slap him.
That's exactly what it means. And
yeah. How would I take that? I would definitely tell him, you're not the guy for me.
Probably not.
Because I want to be somebody's one and only. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the thing. Like, he probably knows that already.
Yeah, of course. He just want to see how you going to take it. I mean, he only going to do what you allow. So if you let him keep coming back, you keep entertaining him after he done basically told you what he wants. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you. It's in your court.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we've seen that play out plenty of times. You want me to tell you how? This stick it out with me and grow with me. Yeah, that's the 80-year-old dude that finally decides to put the ring on it. Like, you're 80.
Yeah. I got somebody in my family like that. So
I
ain't even gonna say anything.
I'm just saying.
That common law stuff, it don't mean nothing to me.
Well,
I'm sorry. Common law marriage.
Yeah. Well, common law. Hey, I can leave. I have an out. I can leave whenever. It's a bit harder to leave when you have that paper. You signed it.
Yep.
It's a bit harder. You know, but that's
yeah.
It's a lot. So we out of here?
Oh, well, let's try one more. We got one more question in here in the inbox. So this one's a long one, so stay tuned, y'all. So I've been seeing this guy for about 2 years. We aren't official. He is a Christian man, goes to church twice a week. We pray every time we are together, etc. We haven't had sex in those 2 years. He is older than me and is always talking about wanting to settle down and how much he wants to do that with me. He's amazing, but he has some flaws. He currently works for the NBA and is a workaholic, 18-hour days sometimes, but has made strides to involve me in his life. He made a rule he would call me every day and we would see each other at least twice a week. We stuck to it the entire pandemic. But since the drafts just came up, the last time we talked was over a week ago. He shares his location with me, so I see he's always at work. He hasn't even opened my last text. Y'all, I thought I was going to marry this man. I feel like I'm always competing against basketball, and I know I'm always going to lose in this situation. He's taught me a lot concerning finances and just life in general. Is it time to move on or stick it out because he's a great guy? More so, should I get over my pride and text him about how I'm feeling or move on? All right. Here's the main idea of this stuff. All right. So they've been together for 2 years. They're not official, which means they're not married. He's a Christian man. He goes to church twice a week. He's a workaholic, which means he's really dedicated to his job, which takes away a lot of his time. And after asking some more questions, like what are the reasons why y'all aren't official? After 2 years, 2 years is a long time not to be official with somebody. I don't know if she mean like they not actually boyfriend and girlfriend, or if they not actually married.
She talking about
but
marriage.
she says She thinks it's mostly due to religious differences. All right. And she said, I wasn't as strong in my faith as he was. I wasn't going to church as much as he was. Wasn't really talking about God with him. All right. So.
Got your answer.
I know. Basically, I mean, you said this guy was older, which means he knows what he wants. Mm-hmm. Most guys do, right? They know what they want. He goes to church twice a week, which means he's dedicated. You said he's a busy man, right? Which means he makes time for God. He prays. And he talks about his relationship with God with you.
Sound like a good brother.
He's okay. He sounds like a good man. And you over here asking what you should do. I'm telling you, he probably don't want you like that.
I ain't even gonna say that.
I feel like it is, because after 2 years, you know what you want. You know what I'm saying? And maybe she's not checking off the boxes that he needs her to check off. And so maybe she's just, someone that he's spending time with.
I think he's trying to give her some time to get on board. Like, he likes her a lot. Because I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It don't sound like he needs to like stay and like he don't need to try and stay and work it out with her. He's working for the NBA on 18-hour days. Even if he's making pretty decent money, 18-hour days, he bringing in something. Okay, so it doesn't sound like he like needs to try and stay and prolong it. He might be waiting on her to try and get it. Like, she wasn't as strong in her faith. Maybe he's trying to give her the opportunity I really want to be with you. You gotta get this thing. You know. Right. But at the same time, on her side, this guy, I mean, you said what he is, and so you know what he does. Yeah. That she's right. The NBA draft, it just happened not too long. I could imagine that being a crazy time. It's 1 week, 2 weeks. Right. Okay, yeah, he didn't get back with you. He's sharing his location. Yeah. Come on, I mean,
it sounds like he is dedicated, but
it's just time. And for a period of time, you gotta be like, I mean, I talked about this before. Sometimes that balance, like work life, family balance, it's not always like the scale, like, where this is balanced, equal sides. Sometimes in order for everything to be balanced, work is a lot more. Why? Because you need finances to live in the USA, the United States of America. Sometimes, okay, I gotta put some more in the relationship. Why? Because she might need more time, or he might need more attention. Sometimes, you know what I mean? I need self-time, like by myself, to rejuvenate my mind, to go into work and to family. Right. It's not always okay, 50% here, 50% here, or 33, 30. Yeah. No, it's like, in order to get that so she has to be able to see, like, okay, the NBA draft, I know that's a heavy time. Yeah. And you've been together for 2 years. I can understand if it was like 3 months and then the NBA draft came around, you're like, whoa, what's going on here? You're like, where are you at? It's already been 2 years. So you already know the process. NBA draft is about to get crazy, because these are new prospects to the NBA that they got to get contracts ready. I don't know what he does, but I'm just saying. So, yeah, I mean, it's some stuff you just got to be like, look, I understand that. And it'd be different if, okay, yeah, every year after the draft for 6 months, he just go ghost. Yeah. And that's different. But look, if you're going to leave him over that. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
And I think that's just.
And also, real quick. Yeah. Maybe when he, like, after this draft, tell him, like, hey, it has been 2 years. I'm getting older. You getting older. What's our plan? Because it's based on what I'm seeing that they've written. He understands plans and focus and getting stuff done. Right. So if you come to him like that, it's gonna make sense. Okay, I need to speed this process up, or it might ring a bell. Oh, she's ready. Boom. I had the ring in my drawer for like a year and a half now, just waiting. Now I know, because I wasn't thinking about it because work has taken over too much. She's right. let me go ahead and get this stuff done and get it together. But you know, a lot of times too, a lot of this stuff should be talked about in early stages.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Well, I was thinking, I mean, I've heard people say this before. If you want a wealthy man, you have to deal with him being gone most of the time.
A lot of the times, that's the case.
Yeah, like if you want somebody in the NFL, then he probably gonna be gone all the time practicing or playing games or signing, you know, just doing all kind of stuff that celebrities and athletes do.
Yeah.
If you want,
that's what you signed up for.
I guess it's like that balance that you're talking about. If you want, and not to say that this is always the thing, but this is the majority.
Always.
If your man is always at home, is it likely that he's making a lot of money? No.
Unlikely.
Okay, you're probably like average, you know, less than 100,000 a year, which ain't bad. But I'm just saying, if you want a man who's gonna be making above and beyond what you're used to, more than likely you're gonna have to deal with
some sacrifice,
being second to his job
at some point in time.
Yeah.
So it's not like
right
all the time, but yeah, at some point in time, it will have to come first. Like that's what brings in the bacon.
Right. And so then you got to understand, like, if you were actually his wife, and I'm just going to assume that he comes home every night. Mm-hmm. If you were his wife, you would get to see him at the end of those days.
It's obvious that he's a true Christian man. You know, y'all ain't living together.
That's right. And she said they made a plan to see each other 2 nights a week. To me, that sounds pretty doggone good.
And guess what? You know what I heard in that sentence you just said?
What?
W-E. We. Yeah. You agreed to that.
Yeah.
You agreed to 2 days.
Now all of a sudden it's not okay.
You told me that was okay. Now it's not. And guess what?
Hey.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, we're going to have to put that in another episode.
My bad. You're right.
But yeah, anyways,
I'm not being mad. I'm just saying it's like there are some things there that, you know, it seems like it's a good guy, and maybe it just need to, you know, let him know. But at the same time, understand the things that you agreed to. Mm-hmm. And
and here's one last thing I didn't even think about. You said he's a Christian man. He goes to church twice a week. It is possible, I'm just throwing this out here, he is doing his best to refrain from having sex with you. Okay, if I see you more than 2 days a week, I might go ahead and slip in there real quick.
That's a possibility. That,
you know what I'm saying?
That's why those parameters.
Because maybe he know you the type of woman that's gonna try to make him.
Or maybe not make him, but
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But like somewhere or another, she trying to get him. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make sure that he is always there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So either way.
Yeah. So
I would just wait till after.
Get a little strong in your faith.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We all could definitely use that. But she definitely should, because I feel like then that will open his eyes to see her value.
There you go. That's exactly.
All right. So that is it for this week's episode. Mm-hmm. Every time I say episode, I think of that time I said episode.
Dang. I don't know what episode that was.
It was like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, that is bad.
All right. Thank you for listening to the How Do You Love Me podcast, y'all. If you're new here, we really appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review letting us know how we're doing. And we would love to hear from you about any kind of topics you want us to discuss or to get our advice. You can send us an email at HDYL. I was about to spell that whole thing. You can send us an email at how... Trey, read this email.
You can send us an email at HDYLoveMe@gmail.com, or you can just DM us on IG at HDYLM_podcast. Or if that's literally too much work for you, just leave a voicemail, 682-231-0848. And like we said earlier, if you want to see what's going on over here, just go to HDYLM.com. And you can go to YouTube or podcast, anywhere from there. And remember, it's always grand gratitude over here. That's high thinking, strong faith, simple living, smart work. That being said, peace.
Bye.